The Audubon books are some of the most expensive books on the market for the most exclusive, influential, well-to-do buyers. Interestingly, in Kentucky, a college library actually houses one of these books, as well as a few other first editions that are looked after with incredible care. 4 college students decide to try their hand at thievery, and the adventure begins. So, does American Animals deliver on the actual real-life story of a heist gone awry, or does art fail to imitate life? Let's talk about it in this review. The story begins by proclaiming this movie is not based on a true story. It is a true story. From there, we're treated to a recreated version of the real-life story, as well as interviews with the real-life people, matched with the recreations of the actual story seen on screen. In previous reviews for other films, we've talked about how certain movies have edits that are really choppy, and it just really kind of prevents the story from feeling fluid and smooth in its delivery. This film is the complete opposite of that critique. There are many cuts in between the real-life interviews with the real-life people and the recreation that we see on screen. And yet it all feels smooth, it all feels balanced, the transitions feel fluid, it just really works, and it's one of the highlights for me in this film. While it does jump around a lot, it never feels jumpy. The balance that they strike between the actual people in the interviews and the recreation was fantastic. The premise of the movie is fairly straightforward. It just deals with 4 college students who decide one day that they're going to steal a priceless book from a poorly guarded library. However, that's just the surface level details of the story. The film actually dares to explore a lot more as far as the characters are concerned. It's about 4 individuals who all desire something unique for their lives, and interestingly, collectively, they all decide that this single act will fulfill each of their singular desires. And each of these men had a desire or a longing to feel and belong, or to at least be pursued to show some value of worth. Because if you're chasing after them, that means you must care about them enough to pursue them, just like they're pursuing and chasing after these books, right? And the story does a fantastic job of showing us this journey that these characters in real life go on in this film. And one of the ways they do this is by interviewing the actual guys from the actual story and getting their memory and their take on the events that we're seeing unfold on screen. The interviews did a really great job of highlighting and developing and building out these characters because they're real life people, and we get a great sense of that in this film. By the end, we completely understand who these guys are and what their motivations were. And if there was any confusion about why they would make the decision to do this one singular act, these are articulated very well, these questions, by the real-life teachers, by the family members, even by the librarian, and by the guys in the story, but in retrospect. And if you pay attention closely, there are hints, subtle hints, throughout the movie that will actually give you a clue as to the surprising twist at the end. And that twist, that little surprise there at the end, really did a great job of showcasing and once again highlighting that this movie is about these 4 individuals, one individual in particular. And I won't spoil that ending for you guys or the twist, because I think it's really profound in the story as far as the characters and character development goes. And it also opens up the door for discussion once you leave the theater when the credits begin rolling. American Animals is playing at your local movie theater right now, and I am definitely recommending a big screen viewing of this film. This is a well-structured, well-paced, brilliantly told story of recreating real-life events and pairing that with actual interviews from the real-life people. The drama that each actor emotes in this film did a fantastic job of actually helping us move through the story with them and experience all of these emotions with them from beginning to end. It's captured wonderfully on camera, the roller coaster of emotions these guys go on, from just the idea of what they wanted to do versus all the way to the very end of the film, looking back in retrospect. And there's some nice callbacks throughout the film to Ocean's 11 as well as Reservoir Dogs. And because of all of these positives that we've just discussed in this review, American Animals is getting both high fives from this guy. American Animals is playing at your local movie theater right now. Check it out.